Ready? Let's see if I can figure out where to put mine. Yes. See? Yes. Yes. Good pup. Yes. Come on. Yes. Yes. Good girl. Yes. 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 Good girl. Yes. Oh, hi. I see you there. Just working on some free shaping with Liz. Free shaping is basically a hot and cold game. You tell them yes if they're doing something right. They don't get anything if they're doing something wrong. The point of it is to wear out their brain. They have to figure out what you want, because you're not telling them anything. All you're telling them is yes when they get the right thing or anywhere close to the right thing. And it teaches them to try new things. That's how you get the real fancy tricks out of dogs. A lot of tricks you can't like lure or show them what to do. They have to just do it on their own, and you have to give them a treat for doing it. So this is one way to do it, and teach them how to think up new things, try out new things, and figure out what will get them a treat. So that's why we're doing that. It works their brain. So it's been, let's see, today's April 9th. The last time I did a video was February 16th. So it's been almost 2 months since I did a video. As you can see, Liz is a lot huger. We haven't worked a ton on like teaching her any commands. It's kind of like when you learn to play the piano. You don't just go play Fearless right away. You learn fingering, you learn notes, you learn scales, you learn what all the nomenclature is, all the crescendos, everything like that, as you're learning how to play Fearless. So that's basically what we've been doing with her. We've been teaching her to leave food alone. As you can see, she's a little bit slack on it. She's thinking about trying to get it. And part of that is this free shaping we've been doing. See her paw thing, that's the first thing we started on, was just getting her to hit stuff with her paw. So now she wants to do it because she thinks she's gonna get food. So as you can see, self-control has fallen off a little bit, but we've been working on that. We've been working on getting on something and staying on it, like this trampoline. Come, obviously. A lot of luring, free shaping, walking on the leash. Just a lot of real behind the scenes stuff that doesn't look fancy, and she doesn't know down, she doesn't know tricks. But this is just the foundation of teaching her how to learn, essentially. As it all comes together, we'll make tons of progress when I do start teaching her actual commands. And she's still playing her free shaping game, trying to figure out what's going to get her the treat. Lizzie, you're a good girl. I do have some old videos from when I was training her to lay down and training her self-control, and I'll insert that here. I've been working on Liz with luring and also leaving food alone when I pull it out like this, so she's not distracted. So this is just the foundations of being able to leave this bag of cheese right here, and she's not grabbing it. So that's mainly what we've been working on. And you want to alternate with lures, because if all you teach your dog is to not touch food. Okay, so the way you start this is by holding out a handful of treats and not letting her take them. You see how she's trying a little bit. She's not going to try much because she knows, so she backed away. So what happens is they'll dig, they'll bite, they'll scratch, everything. Lick. Yes, good putt. And if you only do that, if you only teach them food, self-control around food, lures aren't going to work because they're going to think, oh, it's the same game. You're not letting me get it. I'm working to get it. So if I stop trying to get it, you'll let me have it. Yes. And that's not what we want with lures. So the difference between a lure and a self-control, and I teach this at the same time, I alternate in and out, because I don't want them getting too fixated on one or the other. So the difference between a lure is I hold a lure between my fingers like this, and they follow it. Good pup. Yes, good puppy. Should have given it to her there instead of drawing it away. But anyway, the difference between a lure and a leave it alone is a leave it alone is obvious. You can take it. Actually, it means you can't. But a lure is in between my fingers. I want you to try and get it. So I make her try a little bit longer each time, and then just give it to her. Because I want her following it around and trying to get it. Good puppy. And as you work on self-control, leaving the food alone, every time you go back to the lure, in the beginning stages anyway, every time you go back to the lure, they're not going to follow it for very long at a time, so you have to build up to it again every time. Just because you'd just been teaching them don't take food. So they just need to learn how to understand the difference. Yes! Yes! I'm going to give it to her. She wasn't doing good at going down this morning, but she's not now, so yes! If I try too long, she's going to give up at trying to get it, so. Hey, Liz. Yes, there you go. Now you remember, huh? Then I have another video, which is essentially the same thing. I'm going to show you how we were working on her staying laying down while I move around a little bit. I haven't done much of that at all. All I've done is getting her to lay down and then just pulling my hand away without her getting back up instantly. So I'll show you how we work on that, because she's going to fail the first couple times we do it this session, but then she's going to remember pretty quick. And then maybe we can move on to the next step where I move away from her just a little bit, or we'll see how it goes. I'll lure her into a down. Good girl. And now when I pull away my hand, she's going to get right back up. So I'll lure her back into a down. And now this is how we're going to build duration on the down. Yes, good job. So we have worked on a little bit, so she already understands, but doesn't mean she does it. Yes, good girl. Liz got to see some sheep, and I'll insert that here. She did really good. Pretty much what I expect out of a pup this young. Actually, a lot of times they won't show any sign, but kind of expect mine to. Yeah. Basically what we expect. I liked what I saw, and she wants to move them. I think she'd bite them if they balled up, but obviously those sheep are very flighty. She wants to control them, but she's not real suicidal or anything. She's actually pretty thoughtful, so I like that. I don't let her work anything on my farm, but she's been with me in the milk room lately and been trying to get after the goats. And I'm surprised to see that she's actually aiming toward a hill sometimes. Both of her parents are head dogs, and she seems to be going after a hill occasionally, so I'm pleased to see that. Like I said, I'm not letting her do it. It's actually part of her training to teach her to stay on the barrel and leave the critters alone. Self-control. Obviously she's a puppy and she's making mistakes, but when she does, it's pretty cool. Liz has proven to take a lot more after her dad than after her mom. Starting to call her Lazy Lizzie. She's content to just, when she doesn't want her food, she's content to just sit here. And she'll just curl up and go to sleep. Get your nose out of my face, blocking the camera. She's a really confident puppy, but at the same time, submissive. And lately we've been having a little bit of fear with people, not a lot, just a little bit of timidness. But I'm not worried about it. She's a puppy. She's going through these stages. Kind of when they're young, you kind of see what they're going to be like when they're adults, and as long as you nurture it properly, it'll pretty much stay the same. So I'm not worried about what she's going through right now. I just need to make sure she doesn't have any bad experiences. And obviously don't coddle her when she is fearful. And she'll be over it just fine. I've kind of fallen into letting the other dogs raise her. When I'm doing chores, just letting everybody out to play. And going every time I have her out. The other dogs are all out with me too. And that has kind of backfired, which it pretty much always will. Because they start bonding to their dogs, because the other dogs are always playing with them. The other dogs don't really have rules like humans have. They just fight and play, get into mischief. So recently I've said no more of that. She's on a leash and she's out with the other dogs, so she's not pouncing on them, she's walking next to me. And I'm working a lot harder on getting just time with her and me to get her to bond with me more and not be just so distracted by the other dogs. What I was working on in the beginning of this video is just some hand touches, and those are just handy for when we start teaching more complex things. Like what I'll do is put a sticky note on my hand after this and teach her to press against my hand with a sticky note on it. Then I'll put the sticky note on the wall and teach her to press against the sticky note when it's on the wall. And then I can just move the sticky note wherever I want. Like if I want her to push open a door or close the door or whatever, I'll just put the sticky note there and teach her to do it. And then eventually I'll just be able to tap at it and say push or whatever my command is, and she'll push it closed. So that's kind of what that's for. You ready to have another round, Liz? Did you rest up a little bit, huh? It's important when you're training puppies that you don't have very long of sessions and that you give them a break in between. So like right now, I gave her a little bit of a break. Now we can probably go back and do a bit more work. All right. Yes. Good puppy. Yes. 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 Good girl. Yes. So even though she didn't quite touch my hand right there, well, you probably couldn't tell because she's facing, yes, the wrong way. But I just gave her a treat for it because that was, yes, long ways for her to go. Making it more confusing by making her go, yes, a little further. Yes. Yes. So you can see how fast she's picked up on this. This is, I've worked on the, yes. What you've seen me do on video is how much I've worked on this. Yes. She is the fastest dog I've ever had to figure out this concept of free shaping. Yes. Yes. So when they have a little trouble like that, just lower the criteria. Like I didn't make her touch my hand. Yes. Before I said yes, that a couple times ago, because she had a little bit of, yes, confusion getting over there. Sounds like I have hiccups. Yes. Good pup. Good pup. Yeah. Good girl. Good girl. I've been watching a lot of videos lately by Michael Ellis, the Learbird channel that I'm subscribed to. And he's had some recently about playing tug with your dog, with your young puppy, rather. And he's saying basically it's like socialization. You have this period of when your dog is really receptive to playing with all kinds of different things. And then if you don't take advantage of that when they get older, you're going to have a lot of trouble getting them to play. And I've noticed that with Duke and Jasper, the main ones. Come here, Liz. Come on, Liz. Come on, Liz. Come on, Liz. Good puppy. Come here, Liz. Come on, Liz. Come on, Liz. Come on, Liz. Good girl. You're supposed to have your toy with you. Where's that? Yeah, good puppy. Come on, Liz. 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 Put the leash on her. So, with Duke, I didn't really start training him until he was 6 months old, and I always had a lot of trouble getting him to play. Jasper, I didn't get him until he was 4.5 months old, and he does not play. So I've been focusing, well, I mean, I do that with my dogs because I've known that, but I didn't realize it was kind of part of the same thing as socialization, where they say, gotta expose them to a lot of stuff like that before they're however old. That's what we've been working on. I usually teach my puppies an out for DI. He was saying in those videos that you shouldn't do that. You're inhibiting drive by teaching too many rules too young. If he doesn't have a really powerful, nasty dog, he won't teach him out until they're, over 6 months old. So that's my new plan with Liz. Hey, Liz. Good pup. So we've been working a little bit on her bringing the toy back to me. As you saw right there, she wanted to take off of it. She did take off of it. She brought it back once and then didn't after that. So that's the leash on. I'm gonna give it to her. Good girl. Here, Liz. Come on, Liz. Come on, come on. Good job. So I'm not gonna have a huge party when she comes back without it. Let her get it back again. Good puppy. Good puppy. Come on, Liz. Come on, come on. There you go. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Just teaching her to bring the toy back and then we'll play again. Have lots of fun. Yeah. Yeah. So one thing we can do, and I'm going to be blocking her with my arm because I'm going to get bit. One thing we can do is kind of slow down a little bit, and then when she pulls really hard, we'll let go of it. Just teach her to pull into it even if we aren't doing much, because she's letting go and gripping a lot, so good pup. Come on, Liz. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on. Good girl. Come on, Liz. Come on. There, good job. Good job. Come on, Liz. Come on. Good girl. Even though she only grabbed it partway, that's a start. Good job, Lizzie. Yeah. Good job. So I've only actually really worked on this twice. This is the second time I've actually sat down with her. She's doing a ton better than she was last time. I got to bring it back like once in total last time, maybe twice. Good job. So we're already doing a lot better. If I had a longer leash, it would be better too, because then I could run a little further because they want to chase. Puppies like to chase. Come on, Liz. Come on. There, good girl. Good job. Good job. Good job. Yeah. Yeah. Good puppy. Good puppy. You ready? You ready? You ready? Good. There you go. Good job. I didn't even pull on the leash that time. Good girl. Yeah. Oh, you almost made it. You almost made it, Lizzie. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Good girl. There you go. Good job. So she's more on just wanting to chew on it right now. Is why I'm not really playing tug with her too much. She just wants to chew on it, so I can be her reward. Hold this leash. Come on, Liz. Come on. Good girl. Good job. Good job. That's pretty much all for this video. Just a little update on what we've been doing, a couple things we've been working on. Maybe next time we'll have more cool tricks and commands down. We'll see how fast she progresses. I'm excited because she's showing a lot of promise so far. I really like her.